You are about to witness history in the making.
Hi guys, welcome to another Pop Culture Gamers podcast. I'm Steve, by the way, and before I say hello to Hayden, we're just going to say this is going to be a sort of an hour with a roundtable discussion on E3, due to the fact that it's Father's Day today and time is limited, I think, because of the family. So
yep, I think that's the best way of putting it.
It is, isn't it? So, hi Hayden, how you doing?
I'm doing fine, thanks, Steve.
Everyone else does know that we never talk, do we, until we come to do a podcast.
No, we're playing completely different games now.
Yeah, no, I've been...
And I think that's the main reason.
Oh, well, yeah, but I've been on Forza and stuff and all sorts, so yeah, you know.
Yeah, no, I know you're not just on Destiny.
No, I was today though, but yeah. Anyway, forget the chit-chat. So, what we're going to do, we'll have a chat about E3. We're going to just go through some of our favourite games that we saw and anything that sort of perked our interest, really.
Mm-hmm.
So, should we start with Ubisoft?
Yep.
So, anything there that made your ears prick up, should we say?
Well, what were the announcements for Ubisoft? Trying to remember what they all were, because there's so many, wasn't there?
Obviously, the first one that kicked off was, really the one for me was Watch Dogs Legion.
Yeah, see, I'm lukewarm about Watch Dogs, because Watch Dogs 1 and 2 have been big disappointments as far as I'm concerned, so not for me.
I mean, I like the gameplay. The way, first of all, it's set in London, post-Brexit, so... As we know now, that London's gone tits up because of it. Mm-hmm. There's riots in the street. It's just gone crazy. And however this story takes you, you better play any NPC as your character, so they say. And looking at the footage they showed of the gameplay, I quite liked it, actually.
By definition, though, they're not an NPC if you can play them.
Yeah. I know, they're not.
Because an NPC is a non-playable character.
So there's really no NPCs in the game.
So it's a very PC game.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, but I think I would like to play as the granny. She looked like she could kick ass. Did you see much of the Ubisoft's at all?
I can't say I did. No. Okay. To be honest, the main one that I saw was Xbox.
Okay. Well, we'll get there. So anyway, watching a bit of Watch Dogs Legion, it looked pretty cool. When you died, you could transfer yourself onto another playable character, should we say?
Yeah.
To do your mission. It looks pretty cool. We'll see. I mean, I know Watch Dogs 1 was a little bit of a downer, the way it came out, the way it was released, and the graphics and everything else.
Well, Watch Dogs 1 and 2 have both been a bit meh, haven't they? You know, they've not lived up to the expectations, which... Sometimes you wonder, is it because you've had unrealistic expectations, or is it just because the games just weren't that good?
I don't know, but I must admit, and as long as they don't do this in this game, for example, is that they show you the characters all talking like they come out of Mary Poppins or out of a Guy Ritchie movie. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even though a couple of them did, but yeah, I just like the idea of it. Released March the 6th, 2020, so a little way off yet.
Yeah, it's nearly a year.
And we've got there's quite a few games can be released at that time of year. It's going to be hard.
It's going to be very expensive time of year.
Well, actually, I don't think so. I think when we talk about Game Pass later, that it may not be.
Well, yes, very much so. But we'll get onto that. And also, I mean, we can bring it in here because it was announced, but Uplay Plus.
I thought that was a bit expensive.
To be honest, so do I. I mean, in terms of Uplay, I think they said there was going to be over 100 games on there, but you're looking at like the original Prince of Persia sort of games and stuff like that. I actually have them on disc.
And the thing is, all the
that I can play.
The Assassin's Creed games, we've got
them anywhere.
Yeah, exactly. So what's the point?
Yeah, exactly. I couldn't agree more. Could not agree more. So I just think that it's very expensive in terms of what it actually is giving you.
Yeah, yeah.
Because it's something like about $15 a month, isn't it?
And that's just stupid. I mean, I can't believe that we're going to get all these subscription services coming to a head. It would just seem you just couldn't afford them all if that was the case.
I think that this is the problem now. Is everybody's getting onto the idea of doing a subscription service, and to me, it's not going to work with everybody doing it because there's too many, way too many.
Well, obviously with the PC ones as well, because you got the Humble Bundle as well, haven't you? There, and you've got Ubisoft, for example.
Yeah.
And you got EA.
But the Humble Bundle's a different thing because the Humble Bundle, you actually buy the games.
Yeah, that's true, yeah. And it's a pretty cheap thing, isn't it, as well?
Yeah, exactly. And it's like $12 for a month and you get something like 7 or 8 games which you keep forever. They're yours. And quite often they have all of the DLC. I mean, granted, Uplay Plus, you're going to have the Ultimate Editions of everything.
Yeah.
But how many times do they release an Assassin's Creed game? Once a year at the most. So, I'm going to buy probably the Ultimate or the Gold Edition or whatever of that. But that's still not going to add up to the 180 quid or dollars that's going to work out at as a subscription service.
Yeah.
And then that's not including all of the other subscription services as well.
Yeah, well, when we get to Xbox, we can probably dive deeper into that because there's quite a few. I think there's some you will go for, but there's some you won't go for. And when PlayStation come to release theirs as well, that would be pretty interesting how they're going to do that.
What do you mean when PlayStation release their
ideas? Because at the moment, PlayStation now isn't exactly the best thing they've got, and I'm sure they're going to bring some sort of skew out with it.
Well, as a recent subscriber to PlayStation now, there's 600 games on there.
Yes, but I don't know. It's very expensive.
No, it's not.
Isn't it? How much is it?
Well, for a start off, I've got it on the what do they call it? Days of Play offer.
Yeah.
And it was £60 for 12 months. But then I went and got CD keys. 2 lots of 35 for $29.99.
Yeah.
And then I've got £10 sat on my thing now as well. So it's cost me $50.
Are they streamable or are they downloadable?
Both.
Okay.
So you can stream.
I mean, I've heard there's issues with it. I mean, I'm where I'm looking at how this works. I'm looking at a Retroball podcast that talks about, without blowing things out of proportion, and they've said they've had issues with it in the past. So,
yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. If my son is watching or talking to his friends on, FaceTime, which seems to take an inordinate amount of bandwidth, then it'll quite possibly, even though I'm on, fibre broadband and a fast fibre broadband for that, for just, like PlusNet sort of thing. Even though I'm on all of that, it might come up and say your service is inadequate to stream. So there's, but I think it's no different than if you've got a PlayStation TV about streaming to that in terms of the demand. But, everything's hardwired in. I can now play PlayStation on my PC as well. Granted, what's there. To me, the main problem with PlayStation now is it's for slightly older games. And some of the games, like, for example, The Last of Us, is not The Last of Us remastered. It's a PlayStation 3 version. What the heck's that about?
Oh, really?
Yeah. So that's it. And it's little things like that bring the service down. But I think it's got a lot of potential in terms of how and what it delivers. Because you can play PlayStation on any device as long as you can connect a controller to it.
Anyway.
But Ubisoft, with theirs, I can't see.
Well, it's a PC.
It's way too expensive.
And it's a PC thing as well, isn't it? It's not for console shit either.
No, it's not. No, it's just PC.
So anyway, I wonder if we. So, what about Square Enix? Was there anything there? Did you see much of that or hear much about it?
Again, no, because it's just having the time to actually look at some of these, but in terms of what Square Enix have been putting out, obviously the Final Fantasy VIII Remastered, I've been watching some of the clips of that, and that looks really cool, I think.
Yeah, 3rd of March, it is.
Yeah, again, another one. But just going back in terms of Ubisoft, there's the Ghost Recon Breakpoint, which I am looking forward to.
Yeah.
There is game update for Assassin's Creed as well. Roller Champions, which I think is their version of Rocket League.
It's people on roller skates, basically.
Yeah, but it's sort of like a Rocket League-y kind of game, isn't it, from what I understand? And then Gods and Monsters, which I believe is from the people who brought us the original Assassin's Creed.
Well, yeah, I think they just said they did say Assassin's Creed, so whether it's the same team now, I don't know. But yeah.
Yeah. So I think Ubisoft's got good stuff. I would have liked to have seen other than Odyssey in terms of Assassin's Creed. So this proposed Vikings or whatever it is, but we're not supposed to be getting an Assassin's Creed next year, are we?
So hence they're doing game updates for that to keep you busy.
And I do wonder whether or not they're going to start bringing in like Ghost Recon to fill out that other time slot so that they do it alternate years.
No, I think it's a separate team that work on Ghost Recon anyway.
Yeah, I know, that's what I mean. So it gives the teams a couple of years to develop the games, but release them at separate times because they are both third-person games, which potentially have the thing of fighting against each other, so it'd make sense.
Yeah, but I think what they've done before in the past, I think Ghost Recon was sort of early in the year, and Assassin's Creed was always late in the year, like 6 months in between. So wouldn't think it'd be an issue, but yeah, I mean,
but they're going to have to fill out that point on a yearly basis now, where they would have been doing an Assassin's Creed on a yearly basis, because they only took 1 year off. Unless what we're going to get is a load of remasters next year.
Who knows?
But we've had the Ezio collection. We've had 3. Black Flag doesn't need to be remastered because it was already on this gen console. So to me, the only way they can do is go to Assassin's Creed, the original, and remaster that. Now, that would be good to be remastered.
Yeah.
I think nowadays, though, they'd need a bit more depth into it as well, though. But they've got all of, like, the ability to, the engines to do the deserts and stuff like that already done because of Origins.
Yeah. Anything else on there then?
No, I don't think so. I don't think there was some stuff about the Division 2, but I didn't see what that was about. Presumably it's extra story mode or extra DLC.
Extra content, yeah.
Okay. And For Honor as well. But
For Honor was a different game, but under that banner. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was. I did see a clip of it, but I can't remember exactly what it was saying about. Was it Japanese or something like that?
Possibly, I can't remember now. It's a few days ago. It's too many games have blurred into one, to be honest. But
yeah, kind of like get a bit of game overload, don't you?
Oh god, yeah. So quickly, just going back to Square Enix then. So obviously, the Final Fantasy VII remake that's coming out in March. That looked awesome. I must admit that for me is a given. It
does. It looks absolutely fantastic as a game. Does the new Final Fantasy?
Yeah. I was led to believe it's coming to PS4 first, and then later on it will come up elsewhere.
You see, to me, it never feels right playing a Final Fantasy game on anything but a PlayStation.
No, I know what you mean, especially with the controller. It just seems right, doesn't it?
Yeah, it just, to me, that's where it's home to.
But then again, I've got Final Fantasy 15. I play on the Xbox, but that's it doesn't matter on that one. But the older games, yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
And they mentioned, I didn't see this, but they mentioned Final Fantasy VIII Remaster as well. So, don't know what that's about. I imagine it's just going to be
I would imagine it's about Final Fantasy VIII.
Obviously, yeah, but I thought we had a remaster, but I might be wrong. So they're on that.
I'm not sure that we have. I think it's been released on PC, but I don't think it's a remastered version.
Yeah, but weird. And
there was a Final Fantasy VII remastered.
Yeah, that went to Xbox recently. Actually, where it's been on.
Yeah, but on PC, didn't they change the music or something or other like that, and you could get a pack to download.
Don't know about the PC, but what they did they did it for PlayStation as well, and they tweaked it a little bit. So, and I don't know about the music, but I think what they did was you were able to like put a cheat mode in as well, apparently, or something.
Yeah.
Comes to mind. I might be wrong. I'm sure Nikki will scream here and tell us we're getting that completely wrong. But anyway, so Final Fantasy XIV, the PC is going to be getting some extra content as well. The Last Remnant is remastered. That's coming to Nintendo Switch for all you Switch fans. And the one thing that we haven't got in our list, as I said earlier, is Marvel Avengers. Now, I did see the trailer. I looked on YouTube and watched the trailer for that with.
Yeah, I haven't seen any gameplay. I've just seen the trailers.
I think gameplay is the wrong word for E3 this year.
Yeah, it was all videos, wasn't it?
Yeah, this has been released on the 15th of May, and this is going to be it's going to be like Destiny, if you know what I mean, as the world goes. And it'd be interesting if 4 of you go out playing as these characters. Yeah,
I mean, there are already games out there that are free to play like this. So I'm getting that kind of vibe from it.
Well, Crystal Dynamics were involved in it, so they've got a good background.
Yeah.
Along with the Eidos Montreal as well. So it seemed like when they showed the content on their conference, I think all the people were well up for it. Whether or not they're beefing the audience up to scream and shout like they do, but I know it's a bit of a weird one, that. But yeah, the trailer looked good. I like the idea of it. You'll be flying as Iron Man, doing all that sort of stuff. So yeah, we shall see. I mean, I'm sure there'll be some content coming out, possibly for say we've got Gamescom coming soon as well. So we'll probably get a load of gameplay for a lot of these games that we're not going to see from E3.
Yeah.
So not that PlayStation are going to be there, but Xbox are, along with everyone else. But yeah, that looked pretty cool. Should we go to? If we go now to the love of my life in the past, Bethesda.
In the past? Now there's a change.
That, I'm going to give them a bit of a boost, really. Thank you for giving us those bags. They actually come in the post. Do you remember the...
Yeah, I saw your video of it.
Hey, well, at least they did. It's not bad. They got them made and shipped them out, so...
Yeah, probably because he had trading standards breathing down the neck more than anything else.
Who knows? Anyway, so this was going to be a bit of a quiet one for Bethesda, I thought. And they did talk about the Elder Scrolls Blades, which is debuting on the Nintendo Switch, and it's already on iOS and Android at the moment in a beta, which you can download and check out now. And
in a beta, not in a Vita.
In a Vita.
Because it sounded like you said in a Vita.
Okay, yeah, thanks for that.
As I said, don't cry for me, Argentina.
Oh, yeah. So Fallout 76, they have released a Battle Royale version to go in the game, which at the moment you can actually play that in I think it's in a beta run at the minute.
How to try and save a dying game?
No,
in its death throes.
No, it's not at all. It's not. I went on that over the weekend, I must admit. And do you know what? I think talking about Nuclear Winter with the updates that's coming in the fall, with going to have NPCs back in the game with quest lines as it was before in older Fallout games. There's going to be a huge update for that with all sorts. So I think that's...
Well, I have to, because there's not enough people playing it.
Apparently so. Apparently there are. I know you're going to poo-poo it because you're not a Bethesda fan in any shape or form.
You say that, but who was the most recent one of us here to complete a Bethesda game?
And
that would be me.
Oh, yeah, whatever. Anyway.
Who's been playing a Bethesda game this week? That would be me.
Yeah, but that's just old games, isn't it?
No, Prey.
Yeah, it's an old game. Anyhow, it's old now, isn't it? Anyway, so let's not bicker. So, what else came out? We had Ghostwire Tokyo. They came on stage and showed us that.
Wolfenstein.
Yeah, Wolfenstein. And something I looked interesting was Deathloop, which looks like a game where you end up dying all the time and you're coming back to sort of solve the issue. Solve the story, something like that. So another Groundhog Day game, should we say?
Yeah, that was one where you've got like 14 minutes, haven't you?
No, that was...
it 12 minutes?
12 minutes was on the Xbox briefing.
That was it, yeah, it was on the... Yeah.
And you had 12 minutes and then you had to replay it. And then you got this one, which is Deathloop, which obviously that's... You die and you come back and you replay that game again. So all similar sort of stuff.
Yeah, it's from Arcane, the makers of Dishonored.
Yeah, Dishonored, yeah. Well, less said about that, the better, probably.
I thought Dishonored was supposed to be a good game.
Yeah, I played a lot of it. The second one didn't grab me in the end. I did try, but yeah, it was all right. You know, I do have the whole game sitting there on my Xbox, but I don't get around to play it.
Yeah, I've got the full game. I've never get past the first few levels.
No. So, yes, that Ghost Tokyo, that looked pretty interesting. What we had there was, in the trailer, they showed these people that started to disappear in Tokyo.
Mm-hmm.
They just left their umbrellas lying on the floor or whatever. So
yeah, they just completely disappeared, didn't they?
So, yeah, it looks interesting. The girl that came on stage for it was very enthusiastic, and as they are, and being Japanese and that. But yeah, I like the idea of those sort of games. They're pretty cool. Wolfenstein, you said, yeah, I didn't get to see much of that, but it's more of the same sort of stuff. And the last thing they were showing was Doom Eternal.
Yes,
which
that'll be an interesting one to see when it gets released.
Yeah, when's that coming out? I don't think I've got a release date for that on my screen. It doesn't actually say when it's coming out at the moment. But yeah, I'm sure we might get to see some gameplay of that come Gamescom as well.
I think that Cyberpilot, the VR game, will be good as well. The Wolfenstein one.
Oh, right, okay. I've not looked into that one.
Set 20 years after the events of the New Colossus and before Youngblood. And you act as a hacker working in the French resistance, taking control of a variety of different Nazi robots and turning them against its creators.
Okay. Now, is that for PlayStation or PC? Doesn't say here.
It's for HTC Vive and PlayStation VR.
Okay. So Bethesda got quite a bit of stuff to deal with in the next year.
Yeah. I must admit, I do want to see what the Elder Scroll Blades is like.
Yeah, download it on your phone tonight.
I already have. I've downloaded it on my iPad.
Okay, there's a lot of updates as well for it. So yeah, it was a very somber Bethesda briefing, to be honest. Yeah. But I mean, Todd Howard even joked about Fallout 76, and I think he understood that it had its issues at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
But a year down the line, like Destiny had issues. I think these sort of games get built on to make them better games anyway. So
yeah, I
should be looking forward to trying that in the fall. But we'll talk about playing and when we get the next podcast that way, because I've been playing some of it. I did have a little go back into it as well, as I've been doing this week. So
yeah, well, it's needed you to have another look at it.
It did, yeah, it does, yeah.
Because I know that they've done an awful lot of stuff to the game.
Yeah. Okay, Electronic Sports. No, I didn't.
Electronic Arts,
and EA Sports, shall I say. I didn't see too much. I did see the Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order walkthrough.
I'm still really looking forward to that game.
Yeah.
I'm hoping I get the Force Unleashed sort of vibe from it, from the videos of it that I've seen.
Unfortunately, there's no like dark side to this story. So you don't get to choose anything like that, unfortunately.
To be quite honest, I don't have a problem with having a linear single-player story and just going through it. There's a start, there's a finish, and you get to the end of it and you think, I enjoyed that as a story, and I'll go on to the next thing now. I have no problem with playing a game like that.
Yeah. This is coming out November 15th this year. So there's probably a few games it'd be up against. I must admit, I think... When watching that playthrough, there was the guy from Rogue One, wasn't there?
Can't remember.
Yeah. It's the guy with the dodgy eye. I've got his name here. But this is set, I'm assuming this is set before Rogue One, isn't it? In the timeline.
I'm trying to remember where it's at in the timeline, actually, now that you've mentioned it. Yeah, it is. It's after the fall of the Jedi Order.
Yeah, so after it's after 3, but before Rogue One. So it's in that middle section there.
Yeah, so it's set in a period following Episode 3, after Order 66, which saw all of the Jedi killed by the clone trooper soldiers.
And he's one of the young lads that got away from survived from the Order.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I it's funny because I've actually gone... I do want to really talk about it now because obviously when we do a next proper show, but I have been playing Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Have you?
Yeah, and I bought some add-ons as well.
And what have you been playing it on?
Xbox.
Oh, right, okay.
So, but we'll talk about that
as part of your EA
No, I actually bought it. It wasn't. You couldn't download it. It was actually something you had to buy.
Oh, has it been on sale?
Yeah, £8.
Yeah. Oh, well, we'll have to hop on that because I've got that as well. Have you gone through the campaign yet?
No, I'm still. I've got a bit. Where have I got up to now? So I did Hoth. I did a lot of flying for one section. I must admit, there was a load of flying to do. And I'm now playing as Luke Skywalker. That's what I'm up to.
Oh, right. And you're looking for a compass?
Think so. And there's a guy there that was covered in goo. I had to get him out of the goo with a lightsaber.
Oh, you're right. You're not far off the beginning of the game, then. I think that's
about 4 chapters in.
Don't think you're even that.
Yeah, it is. Because I can go back and play them. I saw which ones I'd done. But if you want to hop on later, I'll talk about it.
It's been absolutely ages since I've played that because I completed the story.
Yeah,
I think it's about an 8-hour campaign. It's not long.
But yeah, there was some content I bought for £8, which had 3 parts to it. But I can't play it yet until I finish the story. Right. I don't think. But I'll talk about that. We'll have a chat later if you're on.
Yeah.
So that looked pretty good. Other than that, you got the typical FIFA stuff coming out. You got some more Sims 4 coming out, more Battlefield 5. So it's
Apex Legends Season 2.
Much of run-of-the-mill stuff again, isn't it?
Yeah, I must admit, after playing it, I'm not a big fan of Apex Legends.
Well, it had its hype, and then it died a death, didn't it?
Well, no, there's loads of people playing it.
Yeah,
but
it's more of an esports thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's one of those things of as games are nowadays. Someone comes out with an idea that's a cash grab, like Fortnite, and then everybody copies it for a while, then everybody gets sick of them, and then another idea comes out. So, well, Fortnite copied PUBG, didn't it, really, originally?
Yeah, yeah.
And who plays that now? You don't hear many people playing it.
Yeah, I don't know. There's probably a PC selection that do play it.
Yeah.
You know, so...
The Xbox version the last time I played was awful. It was really, popping, glitchy. It wasn't a good experience. It looked awful. And that was well after release as well.
Yeah,
so
that's a bit unfortunate, isn't it?
It is, but it's one of them things, isn't it?
Yeah, true. Should we move on to Xbox then? Because I don't think there's any much more than that. Unless there's anything else you want to come up against you've got to think about?
Well, the one that I want to talk about, I think we'll be covering in Xbox anyway.
All right, so...
Because it's a CD Projekt Red.
Yes. Okay, so we moved to Microsoft. They were on they went on for 2 hours at the end. They were on for about 1 hour, 40 minutes in the end of that, I noticed.
Yeah, it wasn't quite the 2 hours that they promised. And I don't think that they actually showed 60 games that they said.
You'd have to have a count up to do that.
Probably about 45 or 50, of which most of them weren't multi-format.
Don't know. I'd have to Google it and have a proper look.
Sorry, were multi-format. Yeah.
But it was all there was like 34 of the games they showed were straight onto Game Pass.
Yeah, and what they're doing with Game Pass as well is pretty good.
I think we've all made a killing on that, haven't we?
Yeah. So, should we talk about Game Pass first off?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead. So,
Game Pass has gone on to a trial now to be Game Pass Ultimate, which adds together your normal Game Pass, plus it also adds in your membership and to Xbox Live Gold. But it also gives you access to Xbox Game Pass PC, which is another subscription service, but this one's $3.99 a month. So for, is it $12.99 a month? You get access to all three.
But
if you get it,
$10.99, isn't it?
Is it $10.99? It must be $12.99.
Yeah, it's $10.99 when I looked on when my subscription says what you can be paying.
Yeah, $10.99. Yeah, you're right. It is $10.99 a month in pounds. But for $10.99 every month, you'll get that. But you can join it right now for £1. And what they do is they convert any time you've got remaining on Live or Game Pass into the Game Pass Plus, whatever it is, Ultimate time, and then basically add the months together. So when I joined, I'm not actually having to pay for membership anymore until August next year.
Yeah.
And I wish I'd bought longer membership on stuff.
It's funny because it's weird how they've sort of calculated it.
Yeah.
Because I just before E3, I renewed my subscription for Xbox Live because it was just about to run out.
Yeah.
And then I thought, why not? On CD Keys, I saw a 3-month Game Pass.
Mm-hmm.
So that was for $14.99. So I thought, I'll put that on there as well. So then when I calculated it, it says I don't pay anything until November 2020.
Which is fantastic, isn't it?
So a year and a half, isn't it?
Yep.
And then you pay $10.99 a month.
Yeah, but you can also now buy Game Pass Ultimate cards anyway. So CD Keys are presently advertising 3 months for $12.99.
I wonder if you can stack a bit more on that list to make that date go back.
I can't see why not.
It might be worth I don't know if you just bought like a month or two of Game Pass and put it on there and see what it does.
Well, you could get one of those codes for Game Pass Ultimate from CD Keys for $12.99, and then that should push your time back another 3 months.
Yeah.
It's a fantastic offer.
I think it works up to 36 months, however that works.
So the way that, it's 36 months a cut-off point, but basically Game Pass Ultimate will give you Xbox Live, Game Pass for Xbox, and Game Pass for PC, which each one will have over 100 games.
Yeah.
And that is absolutely fantastic, and all new Xbox games are going straight on Game Pass anyway, all of the Microsoft Studio ones.
Yeah, everything they showed all that there was a lot of indie, of course, but a lot of the big ones.
Yeah,
a few of them we're going to talk about.
So that means I'll get Flight Simulator straight on there.
Didn't that look gorgeous?
It did. There's also Minecraft Dungeons, which is like a Diablo version of Minecraft.
Yeah, didn't float my boat, to be honest. That I'm sure the kids will love it.
If you like Diablo, it might play okay.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, you can give it a go, can't you? So
yeah, Gears 5, we'll get that straight off.
Yeah,
Battletoads. So there's a few different ones on there as well, and we're also. I think you have to buy this though. The Forza Horizon 4 Lego Speed Championships expansion. Okay.
Let's talk about that briefly then, because...
Did you buy it?
No, I did not. It came free.
Does it?
Did for me, because when I was looking at it on Thursday at work, I went into the app and it said, you already own it. Now, is that because I've got the Ultimate Edition of it, or is it because it's on Game Pass? I don't know.
Might be because you've got the Ultimate Edition, because that would include all of the expansions.
Possibly.
I'm going to switch my Xbox on now to find out.
Because I've been playing for about 6 hours over the weekend and having a blast in a Lego version of a Ferrari.
Do you know, I have to admit though, this is a sort of thing that to me cheapens the Forza brand.
Why? Because they did Hot Wheels, for example.
I know, and I thought that while it was good, I did think it cheapened the Forza brand.
No. Because it's Horizon can do that. Obviously what they've done is there's no Forza this year game coming out, because the next Forza is going to be the proper Forza game, and that will then come out on the new Xbox. So E3 next year we will see a new Forza, which will come in conjunction and will be out at the time that the new console gets released. So they built an expansion. I think it's a great idea. It's no way.
I'm not keen on it.
It's no way that actually cheapens it at all. And also, it's fun to play, believe it or not. And it's funny. There was another guy that popped on and was texting, saying, "Oh, you got that as well." He said, "Can I jump in?" I said, "Yeah, we'll be tonight." And he said, "I couldn't believe how much fun this is."
I can believe it's fun. I think it stops you taking Forza as seriously.
It's just a separate world you drive to, like you did with the others, and get magically transported over. It doesn't deter from anything for Forza at all. You're wrong there. Sorry. I'm
not wrong. I just have a different opinion.
Yeah, but I'm just going to disagree with you there. I don't think you're. Have a look at it and see once you play it. Maybe that might change your mind if you can get to play it.
Maybe. I doubt it though, because I haven't bought the Ultimate Edition. In matter of fact, I've just got the free version.
Because I've got
the Game Pass version.
Yeah, and I've got all the James Bond cars and stuff like that. And
yeah, but you're a big Forza fan in comparison to me.
Yeah. I didn't buy it till a bit later when I played it on Game Pass for a while, and then eventually purchased it a bit cheaper. But So some other games coming out with Game Pass from Xbox. Another one was called Blair Witch.
Yeah, that came out of nowhere a little bit.
I remember we were chatting on Facebook, weren't we? And I had the same thought as you, thinking, is this Alan Wake or something? Because it had that eerie atmosphere.
I seriously thought it was like a first-person Alan Wake. It looks absolutely gorgeous.
Oh, God, yeah. And this can be as scary as hell by the sounds of it. So, yeah, no, that did perk my interest up. But I think the first game that came on stage, that really was something I was waiting for. And I remember seeing it last year. That was The Outer Worlds.
Yes. From the people who brought us Fallout.
New Vegas,
yeah.
Yeah, so Obsidian Entertainment made Fallout New Vegas. This comes out on October 25th.
Yeah.
And it's like a Fallout sort of style game. Obviously, with the pedigree they've got with what they've done in the past.
Mm.
And it's a sci-fi RPG. What more can you want?
Well, exactly. What more can you want? Sci-fi RPG.
Yeah,
covers all of the boxes.
Yeah, and it's PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. But anyone that's got an Xbox and a PlayStation, surely, hopefully, they've got Game Pass, so they'll be able to play that without having to pay for it.
Yeah.
It looks fantastic. Really does. Totally, sort of. Yeah, it blew me away last year.
Yeah.
And I actually thought it was a Fallout game at one point because it looked that good. So that's going to be pretty cool. There was talking about Lego, going back to that a little bit. Obviously, there was the new Lego Star Wars game, Skywalker Saga.
Mm-hmm.
All 9 movies.
Now that is going to be absolutely awesome.
Oh, everything will be awesome. It'd be interesting because that obviously will include the latest movie to come out at the end of the year.
Yeah.
So whether it be as in depth with each movie as it did before. So I've got all the other versions they did. They did the first 3 movies and they added the others on, so I had another version of it.
Yeah. They did Star Wars 2, Star Wars The Complete Saga, and then Star Wars 3 The Clone Wars.
Yeah. So that will be interesting.
Yeah, but you didn't really see any gameplay of what that was going to be like, but I think we know what that's going to be like anyway.
It's just how many levels for each movie, how they're gonna stick that in there.
Yeah.
Because you didn't get so much information on a Blu-ray disc.
Yeah, but to be fair, I think that they're not the most complicated games to actually develop, are they?
No.
Oh, by the way, the Lego Horizon, Forza Horizon expansion is paid for content.
Is that $14.99?
$15.99 unless you've got Game Pass, in which case it's $14.39.
Okay. So you won't be purchasing it then?
Definitely not, no.
Okay. All right. So any other games? Should we talk about CD Projekt Red? I think that's going to be everyone's highlight of the of the conference.
Yes, and their surprise stage entrance at the end of the video.
Did you like your tongue roll out and hit the floor and your jaw opened up wide when you saw his picture on the trailer?
When you have that moment of disbelief, and I thought, that's Keanu Reeves. And then it went on to the guy on stage saying, and here he is, Keanu Reeves. And it was,
We're not worthy.
And then he got a bit of heckling.
Yeah.
But positive heckling.
That's it. And there was one guy there that shouted out, "You're awesome."
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, but do you know what happened to that guy?
No.
CD Projekt Red have said they're giving him the game for free.
Oh, cool. I was shouting that as well, CD Projekt Red. Give me the game.
So, yeah, that game just oozes so much class.
Yes, looking forward to seeing that. I do hope it's not like Deus Ex, though. Hope it's more enjoyable than that, because I didn't really enjoy that campaign.
Well, this could be a bit, this is going to be, more of an RPG.
Mm.
And the quests and all the line, the way you've got to take it, it should be awful. It should be really good. And when Keanu Reeves said, "Do you want to know the release date?" I thought, you are kidding me, because we didn't expect that. Seeing that, I did say next year. I did say as a joke next year, April. So I got that right, by the way.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think that's about right. obviously before the new console comes out. I'm sure they might have a little buff for that when that comes out later in the year. But
yeah, well, I think to be quite honest, anyone could have guessed that they were going to be doing an announcement about the latest console.
Okay, well, moving on to that then. There's been talk. Some people reckon that it was going to come out this year. We're going to see a release date.
It was never going to come out this year.
No, but it's funny. I mean, they gave a little teaser because the goalposts are still open. From the way they talked about it, they can still tweak that machine before they start building it.
Yeah.
And depending on I think, to be honest, PlayStation, Xbox, they can be very similar sort of consoles.
Yes. I think I'm kind of getting the feeling that Microsoft is a bit more humble now, whereas Sony's gone back to being arrogant. Because I think after the last gen, I think that it had swapped and Sony was a bit more humble, but I think it's gone back now because Sony's won this generation.
It did, yeah, absolutely.
And, hats off to them. They won the generation, that's fine. But I think it's going to be a tougher fight for them next generation because I think Microsoft have shown this E3 that they're meaning business as Xbox being not only a console but as a wider brand for PC, for Switch, with their streaming service that they're looking at.
Well, we'll talk about that in a minute. If you want to chat about the Xbox first, then we can move on to it in a minute.
Yeah.
I mean, I like the idea of how they're going to go with this. We'll obviously learn more next year. And I'm sure PlayStation they've already said their specs anyway, to a certain degree. And I think they're on crack on the same. So I can't see, unless there's going to be before both consoles are being released or even put into production, that they may tweak it a bit more.
Yeah, I have to admit, the one thing that sort of worries me power-wise is when they were saying about how much it's going to process or what it's going to process out to. Because what they're saying is it's going to be able to do 60 FPS at 8K. Now, what they're saying as well is that the console is 4 times the power of the Xbox One X.
Yeah, that's right.
Now, given the fact that 4K resolutions is 4 times the size of 2K rather. Sorry, put my brain in. 4K is like 1/4 of the screen of 8K screen. Yeah, 2 across, 2 down. The Xbox One X in most games does not output to 60 FPS at 4K. So if it's only 4 times the power, it's going to struggle to output 60 FPS to 8K.
Well, I mean, they've made it sort of a bit future-proof, haven't they, from saying what they've said?
They have, but I think saying it's going to be 60 FPS 8K is maybe a bit ambitious.
Yeah, and up to 125 frames per second as well. So
yeah,
this is going to be all down to the developers and how they use it anyway. So
yeah,
we shall see.
I have concerns that the console wouldn't be powerful enough to do that. I mean, you're looking at high-end PCs would keel over and die with that.
Well,
now
maybe
anyway.
they're going to bite the bullet on the console itself with the price, maybe, and because they failed last time with the price. You remember the audience at E3 sort of gasped when they told them what Apple was going to cost. Yeah. So we'll see. We'll get to know more about it and maybe understand a bit more about it come this time next year.
Yeah, I mean, I think to me the console market is not won in hardware; it's won in software. And PlayStation have had the games, the wider selection of first-party titles, no doubt about it. I think the next gen, Microsoft's going to have that by the amount of developers that they've been buying up, and the stuff that they're not telling us at the moment.
Yeah.
But I think both Microsoft are going to have to look at least initially, seeing a hardware loss on consoles, but try and stimulate the attachment rate of games so that people buy the games and then they get the revenue from them.
And this is going to be the first time since Halo 1 that we're going to see a Halo released with the Xbox, isn't it?
Halo Infinite.
And doesn't that that sort of made my hairs go on the back of my head, back of my neck when that came on.
That looked
Hearing the music, and it just went, oh.
yeah, but it looked absolutely drop dead gorgeous as well.
Yeah, I mean, this was just a video intro, but
well, no, it was supposed to have been done using the engine, wasn't it? They said.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. So it wasn't a pre-rendered video because that doesn't tell you anything about the console. My understanding was this was done in engine.
So, but I mean, we're going to get that released next year with the console. That'd be part of it. And as much as I said that maybe I don't want to go and get one on day release, I think that's changed now.
Also, didn't they say that the launch of the console was holiday 2020?
They did, yeah.
So that's summer.
No, Christmas.
No, that's fall.
No, holiday. You go back to any conference, when they say holiday, they're talking Christmas holiday. So that'd be released in November.
Yeah, maybe.
So, yeah.
But they normally say fall when they're releasing it about then.
No, when they go, it's funny, when they go to games, they talk fall. But when they talk November, they talk holiday because that's leading to Christmas. So, also, before we get on to the xCloud, what do you think about the new controller? Elite 2.
I will not be buying one for one reason and one reason alone.
And nor will I.
Because I would love one, but they've made one grievous mistake in the design, which was a design flaw in the last one. And that is the rubber grips. Now,
they've decided to say it's an all-round grip this time.
Doesn't matter, though.
You see, I don't like the idea of my hands peeling off of them again.
No, I don't either. And unless it's bonded to the plastic and never to be separated, it's no good. In a matter of fact, I've gone back to a standard controller, and what I'm actually finding is my hands aren't anywhere near as sweaty. My hands were more sweaty with the rubber backs.
I wonder if the heat transfers from your hand to the rubber, maybe.
Yeah.
Somehow.
Yeah, but the controller I've got now is a stone grey one. With the blue underneath the sticks and the blue back. And my hands don't get anywhere near as hot as when I was playing games as when it was when I was using the Elite. I just think it's a big design flaw. Other than that, it's a fantastic controller, is the original Elite. And I think what they've done to it in terms of the enhancements is even better. But seriously, massive design flaw. Putting all of that rubber.
I would wait a year down the line, if anything. If I really wanted one, I would wait to hear it's being tested for a year and see what issues come up.
Plus the fact it's an extra £40 on the existing one.
Yes, it's very expensive.
I mean, with that amount of money, you might as well buy a Scuf controller.
Yeah, possibly. So before we go into xCloud, any other games you want to mention at all? I'm still just thinking. I'm looking at the list. That Flight Simulator just oozing at me at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of indie games, which I like indie games, but I think that there was maybe a few too many that they showed. It would have been nice to have a slightly lower number of them, but other than that, I think that. There's some big hitters coming.
Something else they didn't mention actually from Sega was that Xbox was talking about Phantasy Star Online 2.
Yes.
Which has a big following from the first game.
Yeah, I have to admit I've never played Phantasy Star.
But from what I've heard, I haven't researched this yet, but what I'm hearing is it's not coming to Europe.
Yeah, I don't know.
And it's coming to America, but not to Europe. So there's been a bit of a kick-off over that.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll come at some point. A lot of it might be to do with licensing agreements.
It could be, yeah, that's right. But, that sounds good as well.
Mm.
So, have you seen any videos for xCloud at all?
No.
Okay, I did have a look at one.
So, tell us about it.
So, what they had there, they had a load of controllers attached to some phones.
Yeah.
And I think there might have been I think it might have just been phones. I didn't see any tablets there. And the servers were sitting, I think he said San Francisco.
Oh, this is one of the things that it said your Xbox will be able to be one of the servers, didn't it?
Yes. And their servers, they were playing off of their servers. And it's as fluent as ever.
Mm.
And as you rightly said, come October, a free service to make your own Xbox into a server, and you can then connect to your Xbox wherever you want and carry on playing games depending on your roaming data that you've got, or if you're using Wi-Fi maybe as well. So,
which is a natural extension of what they've already got, because I can play my Xbox on my PC by just using the Xbox app, because I've already got that in-game streaming. What they don't have is the ability to do it onto like an iPad.
Yeah, and obviously it makes sense with the Bluetooth controller.
Yeah.
So you'd be able to connect your Bluetooth controller to your phone, for example.
Well, that's one of the things with the new Elite 2.
Yeah, exactly.
Or Series 2, as they're calling it, is that has Bluetooth on it.
So it does sound a great idea.
Yeah.
I mean, even in the home, because do you remember we had quite a while ago, we had some tablets and we had like a second screen for the Xbox. Do you remember?
Yeah.
And you were trying to play Destiny on it.
Yeah.
Well, this time you can stream that game off your phone in the same room with your missus watching EastEnders.
Yeah, you can, which will be a good advantage.
And it's funny because as long as you leave your Xbox on, of course, there's always that Friday in Destiny when you wanted to have that thing you wanted and you couldn't get it because you weren't at home.
Yeah.
You could pop on with your phone.
We knew it had to be Destiny related for you, didn't we?
It's so true, don't it? It's great. But it's a great idea. Well, I mean, it'd be interesting to see if they get into a sort of a beta stage at some point as well, just beforehand. Yeah,
I mean, they're talking about it being $15 to $25, aren't they?
What do you mean?
For the monthly subscription.
No, it's a free service.
Oh, sorry, I'm thinking about something else.
You are, yeah, I think you are, yeah. I know, it's been a long day.
I'm thinking, yeah, it has. I'm thinking about some of the games, because aren't they supposed to be on about streaming games through the service as well? PlayStation Now-ish.
No, they were talking, they were saying that they had the games on their servers, but you can do it from your own. But no, there's no pricing involved. It's all free, you said.
I missed that.
It's all free.
I know that streaming your own games was, but I thought that there was something that you could stream other games from the cloud.
No, I didn't mention any of that. No price was mentioned. But I did listen to a interview with Phil Spencer.
Yeah.
On one of the podcasts, and he talked about. I think it was the pre-show E3 with Major Nelson.
Mm-hmm.
And they were chatting saying he went over to Africa.
Yeah.
And he said, we got these data centers all over the world. So with the xCloud and all this. And he said, we were on this Wi-Fi bus in Africa. And just as a little experiment, he was able to use that Wi-Fi to get to a game on one of the servers in America to just about get it running on, in front of the kids. Now, he said it's not going to work right because the infrastructure's not there yet. But I was able to get it up on the phone and show them from the data centers in America.
Mm.
But obviously, when they get there, they'd have one over there.
Yeah.
It'd be a different ballgame altogether. And because a lot of kids don't have consoles over there, there's a way that they'd be able to play games.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, it'd be really interesting. A lot of companies will then you'd want to see data packages on your contracts with unlimited data.
Mm.
Because that's what you'd want.
Yeah, because otherwise it's going to burn a hole in your data usage, isn't it?
Yeah, it would
massively.
Be. So yeah, it'd be pretty cool. It'd be pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to talk about while we're here?
We talked about. No, I mean I think that the PC Game Pass is a good thing, because it brings more in. It brings PCs more into the world of Xbox as well.
Oh, you're about the $3.99 pass, yeah?
Yeah. So, if you don't have an Xbox, but you want to still benefit from the 100 games from Xbox, that are available on PC, you can pay $3.99, which is much more of a bargain in comparison to Ubisoft's.
Yeah. I can think of someone straight away that's looking at that idea.
Yeah. Well, Craig, who's one of our community members who has been very pointedly anti-Microsoft up until now, but I think he's suitably impressed with...
Warming?
Yes, yeah. Well, he actually messaged me and said, hope you're sitting down when you read my post.
Yeah, I did see it.
No, but he messaged me privately.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah.
Beforehand? Oh, nice.
Yeah, so thank you for that. I was sat down before I read it, so I appreciate the pre-warning because I thought somebody had nicked his phone at one point. left a jokey message.
So, a couple of other bits and pieces I want to talk about. So, the last game one of the other games that was in the Microsoft briefing was Dying Light 2.
Yes, it was.
And I completed Dying Light 1, so I'm looking at a possibility for me to play at some point.
All right, okay.
Whether that's Game Pass or not, I don't know. I can't remember if that one was. But, yeah, very good game.
But their other one, State of Decay, has new DLC, which I think is included in Game Pass, isn't it?
I think so, yeah. You're right, yeah.
Yeah.
So there's one little thing I want to talk about, just briefly, before we go.
Okay.
And that's about Bungie. Now, they did have some meetings with behind the scenes, talking about what's next to come from Destiny 2.
Yeah.
And last week, they had made an announcement that Destiny 2 is going free to play. This will be called Destiny New Light. It will have all the content leading up to Warmind, and also with the free to play model, when the new DLC is released in September, you'd be able to go to the moon and have a look at it.
Mm-hmm.
But if you wanted to do the stuff on that, I think you'd have to have the DLC for that, the season pass.
Sure, it's Warmind. I thought it was up to Forsaken.
No, it's just before, because you can buy Forsaken they're doing a special on Forsaken just coming up, which was going to be $40 with Destiny, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's a very clever idea what they're going to do with this. You won't have to pay. If you want to just pay for a season because you like the idea of a certain season, you can do that. That'd be something like $7. No, sorry, £7, $10. And we're going to have crossplay. More importantly,
not crossplay, cross save.
Cross save, sorry, but what? Yeah, there's a big difference between the two. With cross save,
you can play on different platforms.
You can, but what you have to do, you have to choose. You're going to have to do a culling here, though, and it's difficult, Hayden, for you.
No, you're not. No, you're not. I read an article that said that all of your existing characters will stay the same, but you'll be able to choose one.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. You can only choose one character to do the jump.
That's fine, because that would be my hunter
and my warlock and the Xbox.
Well, you don't only play it on one platform anyway, because you've given up on PlayStation.
No, but I can play it now because I'll be able to use that character on the PlayStation.
I wonder how it's going to work in terms of achievements. So let's say, for example, you complete your characters on Xbox, but then you go over to PlayStation and complete a raid in PlayStation, and then you go back to Xbox.
No, that won't happen. You have one thing you got to do, that you have to own the content on each on each.
Yeah, but
platform.
if you own both, because it's going to register in a save file that you've actually completed it.
I don't think so. But what I'm saying is, you've got to have all the content there to do that anyway. On each, I haven't got all the content on PlayStation. I've only got as far as Forsaken. But if you wanted to go back on there with someone else that's earlier in the game, maybe I can just bring my character over.
Yeah.
And then take him back again. Now, obviously, the other idea of crossplay, there's a possibility that may be something in the future, but they are looking into it. But it's something they're going to announce at the moment. So, but there's going to be a lot of changes when we come to the new season with Shadowkeep. The moon is going to be much bigger than what it was as well. And looking at, if you watch the Viadoc, there's a lot of RPG mechanics going to be in the characters.
I do have to admit I'm worried about the way that it's going with the free to play. Yeah, because what this is feeling to me is like Destiny Year 2. That's where I think we'll end up with all of these silly little events that'll be free.
Well, no, you can buy the deluxe. What you can do, you can buy the deluxe edition of the DLC. That's a standalone game, and that would include all the seasons for next year.
No, that you're not following what I mean. It's not going to be the same as a piece of story-based DLC. They're not going to be doing that every year, or every 3 times a year. Mind you, this year they haven't really been doing that anyway.
Well, Shadowkeep's going to be is downloadable content.
Yeah, but
so
that's
story-based.
That's an expansion. But what I mean is, year 1 of Destiny, we had story content in terms of the 3 the 3 DLCs.
We had some later in the year as well, though, didn't we?
Yeah, but that was the Return of the King.
Well.
That was a September.
But the idea of this is if you want that a la carte menu for your Destiny, you still go down the route of purchasing that. Other than that, is people there can play. At the moment, only play up to Forsaken, free to play.
I just think there's a potential that this is going to damage the story, because year 2 of Destiny was awful, and if it ends up being, Destiny turns into year 2 on a year basis, I'll be done with the game completely.
We already are, haven't you?
No, I'm not. I play it on PC mainly, because I prefer playing it on keyboard and mouse.
But I don't know. I think this is a good idea. What they're trying to do, I think they're trying to put a lot of the fixes and what people want back in the game and how they want to do it. Trials could be coming back and other bits and pieces. So I think it's a good thing. Totally a good thing.
Yeah, but you see, you immediately saying PvP stuff. That's your example, because Trials of Osiris was PvP.
No, that's very minimal what I'm talking about here. I mean, that's just something that they're going to bring back. But what I'm saying is that there's this DLC, which is a new Back to the Moon, with a load of story with Eris. That's going to be great. And the trailer looks awesome.
Yeah, that is. The expansion is. But what I'm talking about is the stuff that goes on throughout the year. I want to see more story-based stuff.
Well, you'll probably get story every year until they release Destiny 3, which won't be for a few years yet.
Yeah, but this is what I mean. So I'll be playing it for about 3 months in a year, and then I'll leave it for the rest of the year, because I'll play the story and everything linked into it until I just get fed up of the fact that there's no more story or I feel like there's any real progression, and I'll ditch it because they'll be saying, come and do Trials of Osiris, come and do Iron Banana and all of that sort of stuff, or come and do SRS racing.
All the Gambit and all that lot will all be free to play. That's all a part of it as well, so people will be able to jump in and try it.
Yeah.
The thing is, you don't like PvP anyway, so there is a big bulk of this game can be PvP, and there's a load of events to enjoy with that. But that's not your cup of tea either, so it's a bit. Destiny's a little bit shallow then for you in one way.
Yeah, it is, because I want more PvE or co-op PvE better.
You see the Shadow of Opulence, which is running at the moment, and you jump into the Menagerie, and that is a online. You jump into a team of 6 people, and you just play. It's just randoms. Obviously, if you can team up more, you can do. But that's a great bit of fun. That.
Yeah, it might be fun, but it's not like the old days of when Destiny was first launched.
But Menagerie is not. You're not shooting against other people in the game. You're not. It's not 6-on-6 or anything like that. It's not. You're with 6 people beating bosses.
Yeah.
On the Leviathan at the moment.
But to me, where Destiny is best, and granted this isn't for everybody, but where Destiny is best was back in the days where it used to be you, me, and Chris. And we used to have an objective, like, for example, just something very simple, like get past that first bit on the moon, on a moon raid. Figuring out how to do that, because no matter what you did.
You're about Crota.
Yeah.
Having one of you go invisible and all that sort of malarkey. And
yeah, exactly. All of that sort of stuff.
Well, there's still raids in there. They're obviously, some of them are difficult, some aren't. They've all been cracked, but it's all the same sort of stuff we played then, but it depends how you want to play it. Chris has played it as far as he wants to play it at the moment, and he's now playing Fallout 4, believe it or not.
Mm.
And if you want to join in with people, and I go online to do a few bits and pieces online. I don't mind doing that. I like it. You don't. Obviously, the events that kick on, everything else as well. It's just the way Destiny works now. So
I just don't like the way it's gone. I think year 1 of Destiny was brilliant. Year 2 was terrible. Year 3 was good. Year 1 of Destiny 2 was good.
I mean, the Taken King was a good expansion.
Yeah.
Remember rightly.
Yeah. I think that this... I just think that every time we go around this cycle with Destiny, they always try and force you back into PvP because that's where they want to take the game. But a lot of people don't want to play that.
No, that's why some of the quests, the way that it worked is that you wouldn't have to do PvP. They will take you. You'll have to do like a special event, non PvP. So there's stuff like that. But it's you get a sniff of it, and you just turn your back and say no, I don't want to know. But yeah, but it's what it is, mate.
But what they should do is, because for all that I want, what I've said, there are people who don't want to do PvE at all. So what they should do is do it so that you can do either this or that.
Well, they did that because there was a quest for one weapon where you could take 2 different branches.
No, they didn't. No, because you're talking about the Thorn quest, and the Thorn quest still required you to do Crucible in one of the steps, because I haven't got past that. I'm sure
one of them, I don't know if it was that one, I'm sure one of them where it gave you a branch. You could either do it in Gambit, because that's not PvP.
No, that was all part of the Thorn quest, because I got so far through and then I thought, oh God, now I've got to go to Crucible. That's it. Goodbye.
You don't do multiplayer, mate.
I just don't want to do that competitive multiplayer. I want to do something with people, not against people. And that's what.
Well, actually, I'll say that's what the Menagerie is at the moment, and Season of Opulence. That's with people and not against people.
Yeah,
for example, and it's like a little mini raid. That is what we got to do in that. It's really cool. It's over half an hour long. What you're doing,
yeah,
maybe a bit longer, and it's really. I know you may have a look at it at some point because it's free anyway, as far as you're concerned with what content you've got anyway.
Well, I've got all of the content anyway because I've got, the full year pass.
Yeah, but if you want to go into Season of Opulence and give it a go, and you've got to do a few bits and pieces before you get to it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's good fun. I enjoy it. In randoms, it works just as well as it does with friends. It's great with friends, but I went on my own and didn't have a Scooby's what I was doing. I hadn't a clue what the mechanics were on each boss as we went through them, and even where to go to find the next boss in the next room. So I just followed everyone else and you can get there.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But it's still much more fun when it's, your team of mates and you do it.
Oh, yeah. If we had a team of us to do Season of Opulence, it'd be fun.
Yeah.
You could have 3 of you and then you get 3 randoms in as well, because 6 people. It's good. It's good fun. I've done it about 3 or 4 times now because I've got my chalice is now. I've unlocked 3 points for putting something in the chalice. So what basically, just quickly, because I don't talk about it too much now, but you put 3 items in the chalice. And when you get to the last boss and you get the chest open, it gives you, depending on what you put in the chalice, what comes out. Mm-hmm. And what roles you get, and whether it's Masterworks or whatever, stuff like that. But yeah, it's good fun.
Okay.
Anyway, enough of that. We'll chat about that during the week. So, anything else you want to say before we move on? Just finish the show?
No, I think that's it.
Okay, so we'll just do the outro as we do normally. So, with myself, Twitter @Steve007, best place to get hold of me any time really. And consoles @Steve007, sorry, @Steve007 on the Xbox, the real Steve007 on the PlayStation. Hayden, a ton of stuff you've got to give out as usual.
Yeah. So for me, it's just HERJ UK on absolutely everything, whether or not that's Xbox, PlayStation, Steam, put my teeth in, Uplay, whatever. Also the same on Twitter as well. If you also enjoy the show, you can come along and join in our Facebook group. You just search for Pop Culture Gamers on there. You can follow the show on Twitter at Pop Culture Gamer. No S at the end because it doesn't allow you that many characters on Twitter. And that's about it, really.
Cool. Anyway, so thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed this little bit of a brief chat, and we'll be back next week as normal. So all I need to say now is a good night from me.
And a good night from him.
Good night.
Good night.
You are about to witness history in the making.